Welcome back to Dateline Schools. We're in the new Marysville High School. I'm joined by Marysville Superintendent John Silveri, and we're now over in the performing arts and the athletic side of the new high school, standing in the balcony of the brand new gymnasium. John, this is absolutely gorgeous.
It's a far cry from what we're accustomed to. The gym in the old high school was a great facility in its time, but its time had passed, and we're very excited about this.
Now tell us a little bit about the gymnasium and the size and what you plan to do with this.
This is the biggest space within the new school. It's close to 15,000 square feet. We'll have seating capacity of a little bit over 1,500 visitors in home side. This can accommodate one full-length court and 2 side courts, and of course all the activities that would normally take place in a gym will take place here. We anticipate, because of this and the auxiliary gym that we will also have here as part of the facility, in addition to the parking, we're going to be in a position to host additional tournaments and regionals and various things like that that we maybe haven't been able to in the past.
One of the other things too that Marysville High School, the old high school, featured was one of the first high school pools or school pools in the county. Do you have another pool here for this one?
We have another pool. Once again, that was a beautiful pool in its time, but it had become outdated and really outsized over time. We'll have a great new pool that will have the ability to host any type of an event that can happen in high school athletics. We haven't, for example, been able to do diving in the past. We now will have a diving well 13 feet deep, and we can host all kinds of diving events as well. So I think the students who participate both on the swim team and just as part of the phys ed program will be thrilled to see that space.
Now, because of your relationship with the city too over the years, will you open these facilities up for recreation programs and things through the city too?
Absolutely. We don't expect that relationship to change at all, and the city has helped to fund this facility, and it will still be open for community use as well.
And of course, you've got new locker rooms and other amenities for the students too, right?
Everything new, beautiful new locker rooms, plenty of space in those new locker rooms as well, as part of the new pool facility as well. And even, for example, talk about community use, there's a family changing room that's going to be a part of that. So as families come to use the facility, if you have a parent with several small children, for example, that gives them a place to go as well.
Wow, what neat amenities. And describe this little area that you and I are standing in up here.
This is a camera well that we're standing in. Our communication arts program is a huge part of our high school program, and these were specifically designed so that we'll be able to tape events as they go on. One nice feature too is, as we do that, if you're here watching an event, there are going to be monitors out in the commons area, and so if somebody needs to step out, use the restroom, go to the concession stand, they'll be able to look up on the monitors and see the activity that's taking place here in the gym, and the same applies to the theater.
Now, outside the building where the parking lots are being built and that, a lot of dirt mounds and things, took over your softball field and some of the baseball diamond. What are you doing outside for athletics too?
Once the old high school comes completely down within that space, we're using every inch of this space, and there'll be a new competition softball field, a practice softball field, a practice baseball field. The practice baseball field is going to double in the outfield as a practice football and soccer field. So we're making very good use of every square inch of this campus.
Great. Another thing that was the feature of the old Marysville High School is one of the first school auditoriums in the county. You having one here?
Beautiful new auditorium, yes.
Okay. Why don't we go downstairs and take a look at that?
Sounds great.
Well, John, here we are in the new auditorium, and what a beautiful sight we're seeing right now.
We're thrilled with how this is turning out.
Tell us, so describe the auditorium for us, and what a difference from what you had at the old school.
Well, it's a 21st century space. That's the biggest difference. And once again, we were ahead of our time, I think, in Marysville with the previous auditorium. But so many decades later, it was time for a new one, and we're here. Seating capacity will be a little bit improved. We'll have room for 750 viewers versus the 650 in the former one. You can see that the seating is tiered. Have a nice second level, even on the lower level, but also a balcony space too. And the view from the balcony is spectacular. There's not a bad seat in the house. We're thrilled about that. Again, we have places for our communication arts program to be able to film events here very nicely. We have places in the back, of course, for spots, for sound, for lighting, for students to manage that. The space was designed too so that as we have students managing the lighting and the sets and everything else, they're going to be visible, because we know that as their parents are here viewing what's happening, we want them to be visible to their parents. So that's another feature of this space that we specifically designed. And of course the stage itself is tremendous. It's a very large stage. 28 scene sets we believe we're going to be able to accommodate here.
What kind of things you plan on doing here?
Well, we have been so busy with the design, I don't know that we spent a lot of time talking about how we may use the space differently. We'll use it in the same traditional ways we have. We have had a lot of performances here through our instrumental music program, band program, vocal music program. We do musicals and plays as well. Even for large group meetings of students and staff members, we have a district-wide opening meeting for all staff members that we hold right here as well. Again, it'll be open to community use also, and we anticipate that it'll be taken advantage of in that way as well.
Right. Now, we've had a chance to go through the building, seen a lot of unique architecture in that. Were you involved with the design, or is that from the eye of the architect?
Primarily, I need to give credit to our architect, John Waldrop from French Associates, but throughout the process, I've been directly involved. Many other members of our administrative staff have been. But we've tried very hard to involve various staff members and even community members as appropriate. And just for example, as we designed this space, we made sure to involve our music teachers, art teachers, and even the folks who were in charge of doing our musicals and performances.
Another unique thing that I've noticed as we've been walking through the building, don't have tile floors.
No.
And that's kind of unusual. Tell us what you have down.
Very unusual. It's stained polished concrete. And normally what you do is you tile over the top of the concrete, but instead the concrete's been colored and polished, and we're going to be walking directly on that. Number one, it was much cheaper to install that way, so it was very cost efficient, but more importantly, really, environmentally it's much more sound because it doesn't involve waxing and stripping and disposing of those kind of materials. The time it takes to wax and strip, we don't have to invest now either. It really is just basically a wet mop, and it's fairly easy to clean. That's a unique feature to this building that not many schools in the state of Michigan we find have, but we anticipate that once other schools see how well that works for us, that they may be patterning other new buildings after ours.
Now, you had a big celebration to mark the closing of the old high school.
We did.
What are we going to do to celebrate the opening of the brand new one?
Well, we've even had celebrations when we reopened buildings that we had just renovated, so of course this will be our biggest celebration yet. We're looking at late October to early November, once we've been able to button things up very nicely here and have this particular part of the facility completely ready for use, all aspects of it, lighting, sound, etc. But we'll be getting that word out just as soon as we get a date set and have plans solidified just a bit, and we're really looking forward to opening up to the public.
Right. Well, John, thank you so much for giving us this tour. Congratulations to you, your school board, and the community for what's going to be a beautiful building once the work gets done. Thank you for giving us such a good tour.
My pleasure, Terry.
Thanks, John. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Dateline Schools, and we've had the privilege of touring the brand new Marysville High School. I'd like to say thank you to Superintendent John Silveri and also Construction Manager Brian McCaskill for making this all possible. We hope to see you again soon on Dateline Schools.